Hi, this is Bob from Hobby Concepts, and today I'm going to show you how to mount this low profile light bar. Here I've got it on a Grand Hauler King Hauler body, but it works on just about any truck. It's pretty easy to install. I'm going to show you how to take it apart, paint it, install it without drilling big monster holes, and make it work. It's a cool little hop-up for many trucks, easy to do. Let's get started. So in today's series, as I continue along doing mods to Grand Haulers, we're going to put a light bar on it. This is the same body I used for my dual headlight mod, and it's just painted in metallic orange, but other than that it's completely stock except for the aluminum grille, and of course has some wiring in it for the dual headlights. So this low profile light bar is really cool. It just plugs directly into a receiver and doesn't need any other wiring other than that. It comes like this with a couple of mounting screws and a plug-in for the receiver. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this a different color. It comes white. I'm going to paint it maybe with gunmetal or something just because I think it's better looking. And then we're going to mount it up here on top of the Grand Hauler, and it'll do a couple things. First off, it'll give me a nice looking light bar. Second off, it'll cover up this molded in antenna mount hole that they no longer use. So let me take this apart. It's got 4 screws that hold it together, and then we'll look at the inside of it. I popped the screws out of this, so now it's just pulls apart pretty simply, and then the circuit board just lifts up off of the base. Twist this wire tie here, and you can remove the plug from the base. So that takes the parts all apart. So I'll set these aside. I will paint these 2 plastic pieces here. Now before I put it back together, well, let me go ahead and do that. Let me get my drill out and we'll show you how I figure out how to mount it. Okay, so pretty straightforward. What I did was I just measured between these 2 holes and drilled a hole here. This is how I line it up. And then I just drop a small screwdriver through here and through here, and that gives me my basic alignment over the top of the hole. And then I'll just make sure this is straight. It's very low tech, but it works great. And then I'm going to mark these 2 holes with the drill. And run the drill all the way through and just mark it. Make sure this one is lined up great and mark it. 2 holes marked, and I can drill them. Now, the way this works is these screws, they give you some Allen screws. They go up from the bottom, and then they're a tight fit in the plastic here, so they just thread into the plastic. So now I can go ahead and paint this, and then when I come back, we'll show you how I mount it. So you can see I've got my white parts painted, and I put it back together. Now let me show you how I install it. I'm going to zoom in a little here. So the trick is we want to get this through the hole. I don't like to make the hole bigger, so what I do is I take the tip of a knife, and there's a little tab here, and you just lift it up, and once the tab is up, see it's up there. Now I can pull the wire out. Aha! So we'll pull all three out. You don't want to pull the tab too far or you'll break it. Okay, so now we're just down to the wires. Let me zoom back out. So now I can take my body and I can feed the wires through. You have to, it's a tight fit, you have to feed them through one at a time. This is a metal end. And then we can just pull it down. That is really awesome. Now you can see my holes drilled here. So I've got my screws that came with the light bar, and we'll just put a screw in from the back side here and thread it right up into the plastic of the light bar. We'll do another one. And then we can just tighten those down. Once those are tight, just pull the wire tight. And voila, there is our light bar mounted on top of the truck. Now I'm going to show you how to plug it into a receiver and operate it. I guess before I plug it into the receiver, I'll show you how to put this back in. So you just push the tabs back down so they're level. Okay, and then I use a servo or an extension or something to get the color coding right. So brown goes on the outside. These have got a tab that sticks up, and you want to slide it in, and then it will grab behind the tab. So you just put those three back in, and then you're hooked back up. So what I have here is the grand hauler that this is going to go on, and I always just put a extension lead on the receiver. That way I can plug and unplug the body. And actually on this body I'm going to put a plug for all the wiring, and I'm going to do a separate video on how to do that. So that way when you remove the body, it's just a couple of plugs. So this is plugged in and operating. Yep, our steering's working. So now I'll just plug my light bar in, and then I've got it hooked to switch A. And you can see how it's looking here, and then every time I switch it, it'll switch to a different mode. And it's got a lot of modes. It looks really good. It's nice and low profile. Fits up there nice. And then one of the modes is off. So that's all there is to it. So all we did was took it apart, painted it, which you don't need to do. I would have probably painted it body color, but I didn't want the it to blend in with all the amber, so that's why I did the gray. And then pulled the plug off, pulled it through the hole, and boy, it looks good up there. Now this truck's not finished. I will do a video of this truck when it's completely done, because it's got a lot of the upgrades I've been working on: dual headlights, all the tail lights, the servo operated coupler, and then of course what I just talked about, putting a plug between the body and the chassis wiring so you can take the body off. But anyway, that concludes our light bar. Just a nice little short video on how to do it, and I think it really improves the look of this truck and covers up the hole, and it gives you another operating feature. So there you go. Give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.